Yes.
That's the reminder. That's why I shared this story, because I often, not so much, I'm not like, at home rocking myself to sleep, but every once in a while I have to remind myself we're all impactful. Sometimes it's not a positive impact. So we have to decide, how do we want to impact those around us? And again, it all comes back to who we are as the human, and that's the impact that we create. My jovial, authentic nature at the time created a positive impact. I've been angry and aggressive, it hasn't always been pretty, what I mean? And I think about the impact that I created as a result of that. And I think it was either Decoding the Woo Woo or 10 Recs, I don't remember. I talked about how we tell our stories and how I have this image of who I am and how I present. But if you asked an ex-boyfriend from 2004, he'd have a completely different story of who I am. So that snapshot of who I was in 2004 is not an accurate representation of who I am, but it's how I impacted a human then. So we have to be very mindful of who we are and how we impact the world. Our children, our loved ones, our friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that goes what